Great to have Dhani Jones, the former NFL linebacker, here at Super Bowl LVIII in Las Vegas on Radio Row. What's up, my friend?
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
You know what? I'm trying to ramp my energy throughout the day, right? Ramp it, right? You can't go through all these peaks and valleys when you come to Radio Row because, you know, you'll burn yourself out. How many interviews are you doing a day?
I'll just say this. I've done 16 of these Super Bowls. So just that alone.
16, okay, got it.
That tells you, like, I know how this
think. 10 years ago would have been 14.
Probably something like that.
6 years ago from that would have been 8.
It's a lot.
I'm just trying to do math.
Not 16 in a row.
You see I'm doing math, right?
Yes.
So I'm just trying to think about how many of these I've done. I think I've come and I've been on Radio Row for now 20, almost 25 years.
Since you started playing.
Oh!
Dude, you just dated yourself.
Wow.
That's a long time.
25 years I've been walking these
time.
hallways, talking to these people. That's crazy.
Well, it's always good to...
Why did you let me do that?
I'm sorry, bro.
Stop me anytime I do math. Just stop.
Math is hard. Math is hard.
25 years, that's a quarter of a century.
It is. It's a long time.
Quarter of a century.
It's a long time. Well, I got to start with your Super Bowl experience. I know you didn't win the game, but anytime I've talked to athletes who have had the experience of playing in a Super Bowl, they've always said it was worth it. Even though we lost, it was worth it. What was your Super Bowl experience like with the Eagles? It was worth it, right?
It was worth it.
Yes.
I mean, playing for the Eagles, Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo.
Yeah.
I guess you could
see a lot
of familiar names that are still in the league 25 years later.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't 25 years later. That was, I guess you could say like 20. 20, maybe 18.
Was it the
18,
04-05 season?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I guess it's 20 years later, still doing amazing things and finally getting back on track. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times did Andy go to the NFC Championship and lose?
A lot of years they thought he wasn't going to be good enough to ever win the big game.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You know, even back then, people had sort of this short-lived belief in what you could accomplish. But if you kind of push through, right? They always say right on the other side of doubt is success.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to kind of go through that dip in success. And some people get stuck in that low point, right? And they never get out. It's kind of like if you ever ride a bike. I don't know if you've ever done BMX biking, but
back in the day,
you want to kind of you want to build that momentum.
Yes.
But some people run out of momentum, and then they stop moving.
And that's when they give up.
And that's when they give up, and they decide to kind of get off. But if you push through, then you all of a sudden are on this amazing ride, and Andy and Spags have done a great job, and now they're on this amazing ride, so I'm happy for them.
It's great to see.
You like that analogy?
I did. You're actually giving me a perfect segue into faith, because we talk about faith.
I was trying to – you see that? That's called a softball.
Oh, yeah.
Or that's called a basketball, just coming –
That was an alley-oop. I'm going to slam dunk it home. Tell me about your faith, the peaks and valleys that exist in faith, right?
You have to have not only belief in yourself, you also have to have those that believe in you, and I think it's and
a belief in God.
You have to have a belief. Right. Well, you have to. I was getting to. There's the earthly belief, and then there's a spiritual belief.
Yes.
And those two energetically intersect for an amazing, energetic opportunity for you to be able to do amazing things in this world.
That's good.
And that's what allows me to be here 25 years later.
You keep saying the years, Don.
I know. I have to. Because, I mean, if it had not been for my faith, it had not been for those that believe in me, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah,
I've gotten a bunch of second chances. You've gotten second chances.
Absolutely.
You've got second chances. We've all got second chances.
Yeah.
Sometimes third, sometimes four chances, five chances, over and over again. And this life is not for the faint of heart. Right? So we got to keep moving through.
And I feel like the older we get, you and I are similar. I just turned 50. You're 45.
Yeah, hold on real quick.
You're not 50 yet.
Hold on real quick, man.
Yeah, what?
No, I'm just saying, just don't
give out your age?
Don't give me some extra years I don't have.
No, I say I'm 50, you're 45.
I know. I just wanted to make sure that people don't associate that number with my number.
Yeah,
I'm 45.
He's not there yet.
I'm not there yet. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Not there. He's halfway there. He's not there yet. He's halfway through his 40s. But I will say, as we get older, I think there's a greater appreciation for God, for faith, for those things that really matter. Because, when we're younger, we're just kind of cruising through. I'm sure, I can't say I'm sure, but I'm guessing when you were playing, so much of the athletes that we talk to, they say, my identity is in football, and I was so caught up in the football side of things and performance. And then the older you get, I think you have a different perspective. Has that been the case for you?
I think that might be for some people.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever rested my identity squarely in the world of football.
That's
I
good.
don't think I rested my identity squarely in the world of sports. I think sort of I rested my identity in sort of, understanding how to be a good citizen of this planet, and also to be a good steward of faith.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I wasn't heavily involved in Athletes in Action. I wasn't heavily involved in my church, so to speak, but there is a spiritual guidance that I took from God that allowed me to perform and play as I did. And I think there's, just to your point, I think there are just as many players that sort of look towards their identity in sports, but at the same time, if they didn't have any sort of spiritual relationship, they wouldn't believe the things that they could do. I mean, you look at the things that Patrick does, you look at the things that Brock does, you look at all these different players.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 4th and 1, 2nd 25, 3rd and 16, it doesn't matter. All of a sudden, you make the play. Yeah, sure, that's part of your athletic ability, and that's part of your sort of comprehensive understanding of the game and strategy and coaching. That's great. But for that ball to perfectly land Deebo Samuel's hands, how does that even happen?
How does that happen?
You just throw it up. You just chuck it? What? You just chuck it. Like, how many different, I don't know if you play golf, but how many different variables?
I can't afford it anymore.
How many different variables are there in this world for a ball to travel 50 yards down the field and land squarely in someone's hands?
Yeah.
It's science, it's data, it's all these different things, but ultimately it's faith.
It's incredible to watch. One of the things that you're here to talk about, which I love, is Cafe Momentum. For the 4th year, it's at the Super Bowl to reshape the culture around how our country supports justice involved in at-risk youth. CafeMomentum.org. Why is this so important for you to be a part of Cafe Momentum?
Second chances.
Yeah.
Believing in yourself, believing in others, being empowered. That's what Stand Together represents and supports. Like I said, today between 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock, you can go over there, grab a sandwich, talk to one of those young people. Right?
I love it. It's been the last couple years they've been here too, which is great.
For the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And all those young people need to hear from you. They need to be, celebrated and empowered and lifted up and given a hug.
Yeah.
Right? They've been through a lot of things. And Cafe Momentum is putting them on a better path. I talked about earlier before, 2nd and 3rd and 4th chances. The recidivism rate of these young people that have come out of these, this juvenile justice system is incredibly low. And that's because they found a greater meaning and a greater purpose in life. They found community, right? They found a team that believes in them, and that's what Stand Together ultimately represents.
That's good stuff. CafeMomentum.org/Super Bowl. People can learn more. They're doing great work with Dhani Jones here on Sports Spectrum. My last question for you, it could be a little deep here, because this is a question we ask a lot of our guests. What is God teaching Dhani Jones today?
Oh, patience.
Patience.
Patience. I think I'm taught that every day. In my head, I have about 5 different conversations, maybe more going on at the same time. I'm not crazy.
It's good.
I don't have a multi-personality disorder. Yeah. I'm just talking to myself. There's nothing wrong with self-talk.
No.
Even if I talk out loud and I'm in line to go get a cup.
It's a form of prayer.
Thank you. But sometimes my time is not God's time.
That's right.
So I have to wait for God's time and my time to be the same time.
Be patient. I miss the bow ties. Do you still wear the bow ties?
Still wear the bow ties, but I don't know if anybody dresses up anymore.
Not really.
But I would say what the bow ties represent, and I still wear bow ties.
Yeah.
We were so far ahead of the curve. Think about it.
You were.
Cause clothing, where did it come from? Hello, right?
Oh, yeah.
You think about it.
Yeah.
Everything from Bombas socks to, every clothing company out there has a cause. Vineyard Vines has a cause. Yep. Every clothing company has some component of cause, and that's what Bowtie Cause was ultimately about. And we worked with, underprivileged youth and education, and so that's kind of how I found my way to Cafe Momentum through Stand Together, because of my philanthropic involvement and wanting to be able to get to scale in a much more dynamic fashion and be surrounded by people that believe in the same thing that I believe in.
I love that. CafeMomentum.org/Super Bowl. Go check it out. He is Dhani Jones, the former NFL linebacker. It's great to see you again. It's been a long time. My days at ESPN. It's got to be over a decade since I last saw you. So I'm so glad to see you, my friend.
Over a decade. We're throwing out so many years.
Well, you said 25 years. So.
You know, this is like going to college 3 times. That's how long 10 years, 12 years is.
It's a long time.
3 times through college. Oh, my gosh.
That's a long
crazy.
time, Dhani.
Do you know how long it takes to get to your 10th birthday, let alone 25 years later after you've already gone through college? Oh, my gosh. Okay.
And you got the gray hair to prove it, bro.
Hey, salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Keep it shaky, baby.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.